It was around 10 p.m. when Mrs. Dickinson was seated inside her enclosed porch. This overlooked Patton Bay and the Hancock County Bar Harbor Airport beyond. She routinely observed the lights of approaching small-engine aircraft, and this night was no different. At this moment, her friend arrived, parked his car, and walked into the enclosed porch to join her. Before he could even speak to Mrs. Dickinson, he yelped at the sight of something strange outside, just on the other side of the porch. Dickinson hadn't noticed whatever made her friend yell, and she jumped up to face him after being startled so severely. The friends observed a small, translucent vessel that appeared to resemble a light bulb. Dickinson said, quote, "It was just big enough for one occupant and shaped like an antique Mazda Edison electric light bulb. I know, I have a couple," end quote. And since the aircraft was transparent, they were able to see the occupant inside of it. It was a small creature, estimated to be about 3 to 4 feet in height, and its head was oblong and described as, quote, "the layered, bandaged look of a wasp's nest," end quote. It sat on what appeared to be a white or pale blue box, and its right hand extended forward onto some sort of control panel. It had large black eyes, but no observable mouth, nose, or ears. Its left arm, quote, sort of hung at its side, and its feet hardly touched the floor, similar to a child in a too large chair, end quote. As the craft slowly glided by them, the creature turned its head mechanically and stared directly at Dickinson. The unusual movement was described as, quote, "a porcelain doll, swivel-headed," end quote. Before she could even react to the stare-down, the craft disappeared before their eyes. Not knowing what else to do, they retired to the living room to discuss what had just transpired. She thought the light bulb-shaped object could have been a scout craft from a larger vessel that possibly loomed somewhere higher above them. They planned to check out the yard the following morning to see if there was any sign of the object having been there. When morning arrived, they checked the immediate area and found nothing unusual. They even ventured onto the property next door to have a look. The neighbor stepped outside and asked what they were doing. They told them of the incident and asked if they had seen anything. The neighbor hadn't and appeared frightened at the story. Dickinson decided not to mention it to anyone else after that. She added, quote, "I knew my world would never again be the same. There was a whole universe full of new activities in which I had become involved. Now I had seen a number of lovely spacecraft, but as long as they were way up in the sky, they did not concern me. This, however, was another matter," end quote.